The 2024 budget was front and center at Hamilton City Hall today as councillors try to figure out what to cut in order to lessen the proposed property tax hike of 7.9%. Emily Taylor spent the day listening to the ideas, including one that centered on the police budget.
Hamilton City Council discussed new motions today, all considering different ways to immediately cut costs and lower the property tax increase planned for next year. That includes sending the $20 million budget request from the police back to the board to review. It's the largest cost in the city's net budget.
I think it's important that we hold all of our major budget items to the same level of scrutiny. The only thing the motion is going to do is send it back with a request that they look at the motion again, look at their budget again, see if they can find further efficiencies.
The Police Services Board say they're planning to meet in the next few weeks to review. Going into today's meeting, the increase was sitting just below 8%, and that would have meant an extra $382 in taxes for the average household. The tax hike can be broken down into 4 categories. 2.7 of it covers the increasing costs of city services. Another 1.6% will go towards housing and homelessness programs, while 2.6% accounts for new provincial legislation that shifts costs onto cities. The final 1% was set aside for local hospitals, but councillors unanimously voted to axe that today as they called on the provincial government to cover the cost.
All I've heard from my constituents is that this definitely budget share Danko should be in the lap of the provincial government.
The question is whether the province is going to see fit in this upcoming budget to take some of those responsibilities back, which is what they need to do.
Mayor Horvath says she's in conversation with all levels of government. The province has previously promised to fill in gaps if municipalities can't fund critical services due to Bill 23. That transfers some development costs onto taxpayers.
And what they're going to see at the end of the day is probably about a 6% tax increase if we can do a little bit more shaving on the municipal side. If the province fulfills its promise to us, we'll come in under 4%.
Several councillors also voiced their concern that cutting too much would force future taxes even higher. The city already says council will need to maintain higher taxes in the future, as this budget relies on reserve funding. From 2019 to 2022, property taxes increased by less than 3% each year. Then in 2023, they jumped by 5.8%. Now for the plan this year, city staff say they can raise the taxes by 8% if council agrees to future increases. That would see 7.7, 6.4, and 4.9 over the next 3 years. Councillors voted in favor of pulling funding from other areas, including replenishing lost provincial funding over a longer period of time or limiting a new enhanced litter collection program. The city says it will be able to get new estimates back to City Council by February 8th or 9th once they take into account all of those motions. The City Council is expected to vote to approve this budget on February 15th.